thinking about the long-term end games also starts with that vision, the vision of what do you want? Do you want freedom? Do you want the ability to kind of come and go as you please? Do you want flexibility? Do you want to open your own salon? Is that a goal of yours? Looking at long-term goals, I think, is a great way to create that path and the steps you need to take in order to create the result that you want. Hello and welcome to the Elevate podcast. I'm your host, Patricia Nowakowski. I'm a salon owner, educator, mindset, and leadership coach that helps salon owners go from overwhelmed and burnt out to motivated and empowered. It is my mission to help you systemize your business, generate more profit, and create a career that you love. Join us every week to learn about the small shifts you can make to elevate your business regarding mindset, marketing, social media, business systems, and so much more. Welcome to this week's episode of the Elevate podcast. This week we have back again, Sheli Dodaro Hernandez. Sheli, if you can take a moment to reintroduce yourself to our audience.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sheli Dodaro Hernandez. I am the owner of Clean Beauty Boutique. Clean Beauty Boutique is a commission salon located in the southwest suburbs of Chicago, and I am the creator of Clean Beauty Pro, which is a virtual education company meant to support clean beauty artists. And I am very excited to talk to you about this topic today because, Patricia, we see this happening all the time. Stylists getting ahead of themselves and not planting the seeds for the long-term career path that they need to be on.
Sheli and I are going to be talking about looking at your career and looking at the long-term end game instead of just trying to create a career by utilizing instant gratification. I think a lot of people in our industry really just focus on instant gratification. And I believe that the salon industry is really built on creating and nurturing long-lasting relationships with our clients and with our salon owners. I think with social media and just how fast-paced everything has become, not just in our industry, but in life, that people want to bypass the hard work and the things that they really need to do to build a rock solid career. So some of the things that Sheli and I have been experiencing, I would say within the last year. Sheli and I are both salon owners. We both grow our teams. We coach other salon owners to help grow their teams. But one of the things I see is stylists getting really busy behind the chair really quickly, and assuming that that same consistent busyness will continue if they move on to rent or open a salon suite. And the truth is, you really have to plant roots, build relationships, and really have a marketing and a strategy to keep the business flowing into your chair. So what ends up happening is these people go to start their own business, which bravo, I think that's amazing. But the consistent stream of revenue and the consistent stream of clients ends up falling off. And there's not a long-term career that is made because they try to skip steps.
So for myself, it took me 17 years to make the decision to finally open a salon. So I don't recommend waiting that long to take that leap of faith to start the next level of your career when you're ready. But in that 17 years being at the same salon, what happened is I really established close relationships with my clients and with my peers at that salon. So when I did move, I had everyone, literally every single one of my clients followed me to the next step of my career. And being busy for 6 months solid or even 2 years solid doesn't necessarily mean that those clients are going to follow you from salon adventure to salon adventure. It really does take time and connection that needs to be nurtured and cared for to have your clients follow you across the world, really.
I also think something else that's really important when it comes to making the leap is taking personal responsibility for your business. And taking personal responsibility for your business is knowing the facts of your business. Understanding and knowing, and Shelley, you and I have both experienced this. I don't think stylists understand where or know where their clients are coming from. Are their clients coming from referrals from people sitting in their chair? Are they coming from the salon? Are they coming from Google? Shelley, both you and I have done, marketing through Google, email marketing. There are so many things that we do as salon owners to help fill our stylist chairs. A lot of responsibility does go on the stylist, though, and that's something that you and I really focus on is teaching our team how to build their own business through social media and through their own personal marketing. But taking personal responsibility for your business means understanding your business through and through and really being able to duplicate the same results that you're experiencing when you do decide to move on.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think definitely looking at your retention rate. Retention is extremely important. You need to know that what you're doing, the product that you're producing, is something that clients are coming back for. Also, your percentage booked. So if you are, which would, correlate with your retention rate, but the clients that you're getting new, are they coming back to you? And are they, like you said, Patricia, sending you referrals because your work is just that excellent?
What else do you think is really important to building a long-lasting career behind the chair?
I definitely think keeping an emotional connection to your clients, not just with social media, but also with other forms of communication. So like a monthly blog, a newsletter, something of that nature, and really reinforcing the relationships and also becoming an authority in your specialized services. So really taking classes to perfect your skill set.
What do you think is important to like creating a long-term career behind the chair? Because it's more than just, being able to do pretty hair and posting pretty pictures on social media.
To last the long game in the industry is really managing your relationships with people. We forget that is the number one focus that we should have is relationships. And as we know, 80% of why a client comes back to you is not because of your talent. It is because of the way that you make them feel.
Wondering how I keep my business systemized? It's all thanks to Kajabi. Kajabi is a versatile platform that allows me to keep everything in one place, like my website, courses, forms, email marketing, my podcast, and so much more. It's easily mine and my team's favorite software for salon owners. To try Kajabi for yourself for 30 days, visit the link in the show notes.
Yeah, I also think that there's so many other things, continual growth of your technical skill, keeping up on trends, fully taking over your marketing and your social media, no longer relying on the salon to do those things for you. Because when you do go off on your own, that is going to be fully your responsibility. And if you're already taking it on and already doing it, it's just a part of your work routine. So it's not anything added or extra. I also think, yes, building relationships with your clients, listening and actively listening to your clients, really making sure that you are really focusing, like you said, on how you make them feel, because that's really what it's all about, is the feeling that people experience inside of our chair. Are you able to create the same experience? Are you creating an experience personally for your clients, or is the salon creating the experience for you? These are all things that you really need to nail down and really dive into. Shelley, how many people would you say have come to you recently in the last year who are currently either in a suite renting that want to come back to commission?
I've had probably a handful of stylists that have reached out to me that no longer want to put the effort in outside of working in their suite to grow their business. They're just burnt out. There's no time off. So I've definitely had a really like a good handful of stylists that have reached out to me that are just burnt out handling their business inside their suite, and then also working when they're not behind the chair really does take a toll. Also, the lack of team. As stylists, we are very social people, and not having a team to support you, run ideas off of, even just joke around with in the break room does also take a toll on these independent stylists as well.
Yeah. And I think too, I've had, I would say 2 in the last 2 months who were either in a suite or doing hair on their own at their house or, behind the chair renting. And it's a lot. it is a lot to take care of. And I think understanding too, as a stylist, creating your end game also starts with what you want for your career. I think a lot of people just kind of follow the beaten path that people have created in our industry, which is like, oh, you work at commission and then you go to rental. But they don't really take a look and really figure out what they personally want for themselves. I think thinking about the long-term end games also starts with that vision, the vision of what do you want? Do you want freedom? Do you want the ability to kind of come and go as you please? Do you want flexibility? Do you want to open your own salon? Is that a goal of yours? Looking at long-term goals, I think, is a great way to create that path and the steps you need to take in order to create the result that you want.
I completely agree. It's also looking at what kind of life you want to live outside your business. So to me, the ultimate freedom is less responsibility. So if you want ultimate freedom, it's not taking on more responsibility and becoming an independent stylist. It's finding the commission salon that works for you. So when you leave that salon, work is left behind and you get to come, well, you can come and go as you please. Your personal life is really what is the most important, where you can live your most freedom.
I think balance for me is what is important, having time for my family, being able to dive into work because work is my hobby. I love what I do. I love helping other people grow. So understanding what's important to you and understanding what you want your life to look like is a great way to create that long-term end game and plan. Stylists making reactive risks instead of calculated risks.
Wow. I think reactive risks are when we listen to our friends and things look sexy on social media, so we want to go chase it. And we're following a trend versus what our real capacity is and what we know about ourselves and our businesses.
Yeah, I think calculated risks is really understanding and knowing the information about your business. And I think there has to be a balance, right? Like, yes, we have to take calculated risks, which still include fear and being scared. But reactive risks are things that are done in a way that might not necessarily create the result that you want, but it will give you a fucking hard ass life lesson.
It sure will give you a fucking hard ass life lesson. I think when it comes to hairstylists, salon owners, anybody in the beauty industry, you really have to take a look at those numbers. Numbers do not lie.
They really don't.
Your retention rate, your percentage booked, your total service revenue, those are the facts. So if you want to jump and skip steps and not grow your retention and not grow your service revenue, which you and I both know, Patty, to generate over 6 figures does not take 6 months. It takes a long time and dedication as a stylist to build that type of career. If you're not willing to take those steps and make sure that your ass is covered before you go out on your own, because I'll tell you what, rent does not go down. It only goes up. And so do the cost of our supplies.
And not only that, though, like if you can't handle all the things while you're at a commission salon, if you can't handle the stress, the pressure, the responsibilities at a commission salon, then you're sure in hell not going to be able to handle all of the things at the rental or suite, because those things are amplified and multiplied, your responsibility, the amount of work. So I think really, thinking about like, what can you handle? What is your capacity at this time? And how can you expand your capacity to its max limit where you are, and then continue to expand if you decide to move on?
I absolutely agree. I also feel like you have to guard your mind too, and not take too many people's opinions or feedback into consideration. And really just when you go for advice or looking for a mentor, that is really like one of the only people, and not have people with conflicting opinions give you confusion in your brain as well.
Yeah. And I think making sure that your vision is your vision and not the vision that somebody else has for you.
which is something that we see very often in our industry, especially with industry leaders. They have their own agenda to grow and change the industry as they see fit, which they don't always take into consideration the people that they are working with and what works best for them in their
And what
area
impacts them.
and the market that they're serving.
Yeah. So this is the end of today's podcast. And we are so excited to share more podcasts in the future. Sheli and I have some great topics coming up. And Sheli, how can people find you on social media or just in general?
You can find me on Instagram. Is Instagram out? Should people be finding me on TikTok? I don't know, but I'm old. So you're going to be finding me on Instagram. You can find me at Sheli, Sheli, Dodaro, Dodaro .Hernandez, or at Clean Beauty Pro, or at the Clean Beauty Boutique.
Okay.
Till next time.
Till next time.